Good morning, y'all. Zach here. Chris and Eddie are downstairs asleep in the mega bed, which we will get into another time. But I just wanted to talk to y'all for a minute because it's been a while since we saw each other and I feel like you deserve some updates. First and foremost, huge thank you to everyone for all the support you guys have shown us. We've had some great friends down the street basically take care of us for the last 3 weeks since Chris has been home. You guys have donated so much money, we can't even believe it, and we couldn't say thank you enough. Honestly, the weight lifted off our shoulders to not worry about the fact that we didn't have an income for the better part of 3 weeks was super helpful. We're getting through the process of getting Chris insurance now. That's going to take care of a lot of our problems, but seriously, thank you so much for everything you guys did to help us through all this. It means the world to us. On that same note, Chris has been home from the hospital for about 3 weeks now, which has been great because life has sort of been back to normal. We all get to see each other every day, wake up next to each other and everything. But that being said, life is not at all normal for us right now. Chris is walking better, which is great, but he kind of has to get around our house with the way it's laid out, so he was sort of forced to do that physical therapy. He's been keeping up with his therapy, which is great, but some of it's kind of slow going. He still doesn't have very good use of his left hand, so while he can get around, making himself food and things like that aren't the easiest for him. His vision is also still not there on the left side of his face, which makes for some interesting moments because I sit on the left side of the living room, so I'm forever having to try to get his attention. And cognitively, sometimes things just don't click yet. He forgets things, little things like that, but he's doing pretty good, all things considered. Eddie has been working his butt off, pulling doubles, waiting tables, trying to do everything he can to keep us afloat right now. Mostly because I haven't been working because the doctors told us Chris needed somebody at home with him all the time to keep an eye on him and basically be his nurse. That was sort of an easy decision because Eddie made more money than me, and I had my real job starting here at the end of March, which I do for about 8 months out of the year. We've been doing pretty good adapting to our new lifestyle. Eddie's been great picking up the slack with work. I've been learning what it's like to be a housewife, basically, and I have a newfound respect for my mother, so that's been a pretty fun experience for me. However, the complete chaotic change in our lifestyles has probably also led to a little bit of chaos in our relationship, maybe some fighting, everybody catching COVID at the same time about a week after we got home from the hospital probably did not help that, but the stress has definitely caught up to us pretty good. We're trying to keep it managed just because Chris doesn't need to deal with it right now, but this isn't easy, we'll just say that. Thank God for 3 adults in the relationship. Boy, howdy does that help. I could have never, ever done this without Eddie here to help me. Don't forget to drink water. You might be able to see somewhere here in the background as well, we have a fairly large collection of comic books that was gifted to us by somebody Chris and I used to work with in Las Vegas that we are slowly working on figuring out how to sell. I enjoy comic books, but I don't know much about them at all, and we have 3,000 of them back there. It was the craziest gift ever. But we're trying to figure out how to sell these to make some money to help pay the bills, along with many other things, some of which you might see behind me. Unfortunately, they have to go for now, but I can always pick them back up later. Right before all of this happened, the 3 of us had decided we were going to start making YouTube videos and putting some effort into that, as you may have noticed. And we decided we were going to try and document this whole process of going through recovery and everything. But as I just stated, this is pretty stressful, and while it would have been fun to document, I guess, it just added a whole lot of unnecessary stress to the situation, so we decided to ease off of the filming everything and trying to make content all the time. However, we do all still wish to do that. How that's going to manifest itself, who knows? We're three very different people with three very different lives. We also have one life between the three of us. We also have a couple different relationships amongst us. Obviously, Chris and I interact differently than Eddie and I, who interact differently than Chris and Eddie. So you may see various different forms of videos just show up on this channel, and who knows what it might be. It could be me doing my high diving, my stunts, my performing, all the things I do for a living. It could be Chris playing video games. It could be Eddie cooking food for you. It could be any number of things or combinations of the three of us. Who knows? But we very much want to share our lives and our hobbies with you. So be on the lookout for more of that going forward. On a personal note, because apparently this is my video today, I just want to thank Chris and Eddie for being there for me through so many things, through this and over the last year and a half, and Chris and I for the last 8 years, as well as thanking our friend Chris and Mikey, and our friend Uncle Grandpa. He knows who he is. It's just a cute name. It's been a rough month. It's been a rough year and a half. Eddie came into our life at a pretty tough time. Chris and I were working jobs as content moderators. I left the job pretty quickly. Chris stuck with it, and it led to him having pretty traumatic experience, and I felt like I was losing my partner of 8 years there for a while. Then this happened, and I really was scared that I'm gonna lose somebody that I've had in my life for the last 8 years, and I couldn't imagine my life being without. He's been there for me through so many things. His whole life has changed because of me and my desire to perform for a living. He's moved across the country. He allowed me to run away for a year and tour the country, and took care of our entire life by himself. And then Eddie joined our family right around the time Chris had his breakdown, and we basically demanded that he quit that job, and agreed to take up the slack so he could take the time to recover, which was great, and he got to do what he needed to do to take care of himself. I totally forgot what I was talking about. I know this video has been kind of rambly and all that. I really just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all of the support. It's been overwhelming, and we really might not even have this roof over our head anymore if it wasn't for you. Just wanted to give you an update on where we've been, where things are going, how we're doing, and all that jazz. Sorry for being so boring and rambly and just talking at you for the last however many minutes this video has been, but hopefully going forward, things will be a lot more entertaining and a lot less dramatic and stressful. Thank you so much for watching. We love you guys.